then. All right. Well, I'll call back later. Thank you. So when I left V last night, she was in the recovery, which they call the PACU, the post-anesthesia care unit. And she had just come out of surgery, and I think it was like almost 2.5 hour surgery. So it was probably like 10:30 when I got up there and was allowed to go in there, and it was a very, very busy place. She was in the bed there with all kinds of hoses going up her nose and wires attached to her, and she was a mess. So she was in a lot of pain, just writhing around in the bed and miserable. And the nurses were in and out of there, constantly checking her vitals. Even though I was there, I tried talking to her a little bit, but she was out of it. She was, in a lot of misery, and she was really doped up and trying to come out of the anesthesia. So I asked the nurses how much longer before, she would be comfortable and then taken up to a room, and they said it's going to be hours. So that being said, I decided I wasn't going to sleep in the lobby at the Cleveland Clinic for the night. I decided I would drive home. And so I called up there, and they tell me that she's not doing a whole lot better, but she's in a room, but they're having to care for her constantly. She's on a lot of pain medicine and stuff, so they told me it would be better if I called back later in the day, and at that point they would confirm whether or not it would be worth for me to come up there and see her. Well, I was able to go up and see my wife tonight, and I was surprised. She was in bed and she was actually somewhat comfortable, but having to be given a lot of pain medicine. I think they decided they were going to give her a pain pump where you can push the button and actually inject yourself with the painkiller. So I don't know when she's going to be able to come home. It looks like with Thanksgiving coming up in a few days, I'm hoping they get her home for the holiday, but at this point, I don't know. She's in pretty bad shape right now. I mean, the surgery that they did was quite a bit more invasive than what was originally planned. So at first they were going to do a laparoscopic surgery, and then yesterday, right before the surgery, the surgeon decided that the only option was to slit her wide open. So that's what they had to do, and of course that's major stuff. So I'll keep you posted. Well, here we are, Sunday after Thanksgiving. So, her surgery was on a Friday, but it's been over a week now.
9 days post-op.
9 days later, and she's home.
I'm home. 3 days now.
So that was quite a huge surgery. It was really a tough one on her. So, what exactly happened there?
Well, we talked about in the car in the previous segment what the doctor was going to do. In mere seconds before I was wheeled into the operating room, they came to give me a block. I think they called it a T block, a P block, I'm not sure. But they did it on each side of my abdomen so that when I would wake up, it would be a little bit less pain. And the doctor came in and sat on the bed, and she said, the results of your colonoscopy, she said, you have some strictures there. She goes, they were stricture before, but not this bad. So she said, what do you think about if I take out the rest of the colon that you have and give you an ileostomy? You know, and the funny thing was, I kept telling Mark, I wish you would just take out my colon because I have so many issues compared to him not having a colon.
That's what they did to me in 1998. Exactly what they plan on doing to her.
But it was at last minute, like within mere seconds. She came in, sat on the bed, and we had this brief discussion. And I said, yeah, go for it. She goes, well, in that case, I'm going to have to cut. No longer was there a choice of laparoscopically. Now, I'm probably going to get teary-eyed with this part, but had she not cut, she found a stone inside of me that was, she said like this. She said, I would have won a prize at the fair. This stone was sitting on my rectum.
The size of a potato.
And that's what was causing the pressure pushing down on my rectum.
And the surgeon thought it was a tumor at first, and she cut it out, and here it was a stone, like similar to a kidney stone or something, only this was in her bowel.
Well, I asked her, how did that get there? What caused that stone? And could it have been what caused me all the pain in January? She said it's a possibility. And what caused the stone, because I still had my colon, your colon secretes mucus and it secretes minerals. And that was a collection of minerals that were secreted by the colon I had left in me. So she took that out. She took out my colon, my rectum, and my anus. She stitched my bottom. She stitched in the vagina where the fistula was. And I have a cut. I won't show you, it's very gross, but from the top of my navel all the way down to the pelvic bone. And of course I have my bag, my ileostomy bag to the left. And now it's just I'm home and I see little improvement each day. Today's day 3 and I actually got dressed. I've been in pajamas for days. And I just got to work on building up my stamina. I get tired very quickly.
So you said it's day 3. It's day 3 that you've been home.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been
9 days
9 days since the surgery.
Yes.
So that being said, she's still very weak. She gets dizzy very easily. She dehydrates very quickly, so she's got to drink a lot of fluids, a lot of G2. Mm-hmm. The doctor said drink G2. That's a great hydrator. She's got to eat almost like every 2 hours to keep food in her bowel. The bowels were very disturbed with this surgery. Surgeon told me that she actually had to take her stomach and like flip it up out of the way to work on her. So everything was all moved around in there. So it takes a long time for those things to get back to normal again. So, and her diet's very soft. She can only eat, well, let's put it this way, no nuts, no fruits, no hard vegetables.
No skins.
No skins, nothing chewy or you know, undigestible vegetables that aren't cooked to a completely soft state. No, she can't have anything like that.
And that's because that's for 4 to 6 weeks because everything in there is swollen. And should I eat something raw and it get caught in there, I'm going to have misery. I'll have an intestinal blockage.
Yeah, so she still has the cut going all the way down. There's a couple staples in it. I didn't see any stitches.
No.
So there's parts of her wound that are actually still open, like an open hole. You can see right inside of her belly there. And they said that would heal from the inside out. Still draining a lot, so she's putting bandages on there every day. Mm-hmm. So she's still on a pretty rough road, even though she looks gorgeous as ever. She fixed herself up. She spent hours getting herself ready today just for the video so she would look good. But really, she's been on the couch, very weak, very sore.
It is. I don't want anyone to think if you're watching this and you're going to have this surgery, be prepared for pain. I had no idea. I was not prepared for the pain. They asked me before I went in, what is it you're looking for from your doctor from the surgery? And I said, pain management. I don't want any pain. Well, when I was in recovery, I was in such pain. Thank God Mark was there because he told them that whatever you're giving her is not working. You need to give her something else.
Yeah, I told the nurse there, and so she went right to it and got some Dilaudid, which is pretty heavy duty, and started giving her that instead. So,
and then the next day, my doctor came in on Saturday, and she removed the NG tube I had in my nose, which I was happy for. But she said, you start throwing up, that tube goes back in your nose. So I did not want to throw up. She told me I wouldn't have any control over that it would just happen and the tube would go in. But fortunately, it didn't. She hooked me up with a pain pump on Saturday, which I had for probably Saturday, Sunday, Monday, maybe part of Tuesday. And they took it away. And then I came home on Wednesday. I had a drain in my side with a skinny tube that came out of my side. And it had like a bulbous thing that, it just reminded me of a pump that you would squeeze. But it was a bulbous thing that would catch the blood and mucus draining out of my belly.
ugh.
And every time that thing would fall, they'd tell me go take a shower, and I'd unpin it from my gown, and that thing would fall, and I'd be like, oh, because it would pull on my side. They had it stitched in there. So they took that out finally. So little by little, things started to come out. I had a PICC line in my arm, which really sounds bad, but it was a godsend, because not one place did they have to poke me for blood. They went right in the PICC line and drew the blood out of there. I didn't have to get an IV for surgery. They put the anesthetic right into that PICC line. So if you are a hard stick like I am, if you have trouble with needles, ask your doctor for a PICC line. It's a godsend.
So there you go. She's back home. She's feeling a little better every day, a little stronger every day. She's starting to do some little simple tasks around the house that she can do. But I've been her nurse, and I've been trying to keep up with things.
Lucky me.
So
This poor man, he should never have to do the stuff he had to do. He helped me change my ostomy bag. He helped me change the bandages on my open wound. I was beside myself. I forgot to take the plastic piece off the ostomy bag. I had it all prepped to go on, and he's like, you're supposed to take that off first. And I was just like, so beside myself. But he hung in there and fixed it for me.
I never wanted to be a nurse or a doctor, but sometimes you have no choice. You have to step up to the plate, especially when it's for your loved one. I got to take care of this girl.
You do. And I always thought that I came into Mark's life, that our paths crossed because I was going to save him. He was sick, I heard, and everybody said he was dying, and I said, oh my God, this poor man. And it turns out he's the one saving me.